The video to follow was created just before this breakout happened. It's an interesting video to watch because all the way through the indicators were giving us very clear spots to identify that this was going to break out. And now let's tune into this episode and see what those indicators were telling us so that you could have also known in advance that this surge was coming. That's what's up on today's episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin. If you're new to the channel, be sure to click on subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. But more than that, head over to the website and get the free webinar of our complete trading system. It's not a happy fuzzy sales video. This is an actual workshop that you get. The purpose of this channel is to provide education to people who need it. And then if you are an active trader, we have services that'll take care of a whole bunch of the work of trading on your behalf. That's what we do here on this channel. We educate, and then if you're looking for more, we can provide services that'll help you save a whole bunch of time. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2020. Let's jump in and see what our indicators might be telling us about Bitcoin direction going next. We'll start off with the weekly relative strength index, and for a long time now, we've been watching for this kind of trend line to set up, which means that the RSI must pull back here sometime and make its way up, or at least come back to this line before making its way up here again. So let's zoom in on this and see what the closer time frames are telling us about that pullback. Because I've always been watching for this trend line to break one way or the other. We can get these inner trend lines to break and have it go higher yet. Or we can get this major trend line to break and then we're going to be correcting. So let's go in now to see if we get a top formation in this 12-hour time frame. I am still watching this trend line and these inner trend lines here. We are very overbought here a couple times, but there's still room. We can still go more overbought. This can still bounce up from here and give us that blow off top type of feel way up to, I don't know, just, 12-ish, getting up near these tops and then back down probably to test 10,000 again. Just eyeballing it, and there's no way to know. Of course, I don't try to predict those things. What I try to do is just keep watching for the 1, 2, 3 formations to shape up and then take action when they do. Because as it's pulled back now, I am seeing a divergence and a hold here. So that wasn't a good 1, 2, 3 top formation. It made higher highs here and slid off. It still feels like we're in the parabolic move upward yet. We haven't really broken. Otherwise, top formations break sharp and keep going. So that this hasn't broken sharp, that it's held itself a little bit and we've got this setting up. I want to see in the closer time frames and the other indicators, it feels to me like we're still building up for that parabolic move up higher. And what will that mean to altcoins? That's the big question for me because they've been performing so well. Now, anyway, let's go on to the weekly Bitcoin on balance volume lazy bear indicator. If you go to Google and you search on balance volume brackets lazy bear, you'll find this TradingView script and you can add it. It's an awesome indicator. It's not predictive, but to see the volume going down here is pretty key. I'm going to myself like, where's the volume? Like, where's that big whoosh of volume? So the volume looks good, it's steady, but we still haven't gotten a big strong whoosh. And I think that's what we're building up to now. Let's zoom in closer because it's holding itself here. We're getting steady volume. It's not giving us weaker volume as we get up to these tops yet. So we're not done. This isn't finished yet. We got a couple little selling spots here, but that this has caught itself here is really important. I want to zoom in. Yeah, like this is heavier dumping here and then less and less and less as we came along. So we didn't dump and then crack. So this is looking bullish to me as I'm zooming in on this. Even though we have all the selling going on, it is making what could be a tiny little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. So it's only on the 15-minute time frame. We have to see it nest out and be bigger, but we got some pretty clear levels that when it's breaking above those, we're verifying this 1, 2, 3, and we're verifying that volume change has happened. We're verifying what we just saw on the relative strength index. Now let's get it into the MACD indicator. The weekly is still good. I like these histograms being different colors. As there's strength coming in, they're lighter color. As there's weakness coming in, they're different color. So let's watch that color from week to week now. Daily, we can see that color has changed and it's easing off and actually coming near closing to cross over. So let's see now. 12-hour has crossed to the negative. That's bearish. And if we have this lower crosses going on here, that's more bearish. The one thing I'm watching now are these histograms. We've got deeper, less deep here. Let's watch over the next couple hours really to see how this goes. And now zooming into the 4-hour time frame, this is where the oscillation happens. It's pulling back and looks like, as this red is pulling back up again now, we are catching ourselves on this bottom. This is where we're going to see it here is on the 1-hour time frame where the oscillation has already caught and crossed to the positive here first, which would make sense, and we'll get it stronger on the 15-minute time frame. Here's our lower and higher crosses, and it's going to start flaring wider as this crosses higher here. And these are the indicators we can be watching really close time frame, knowing that in the larger time frame, what we're looking at, this being the next stage of the blow off top. And that's what we'll continue to watch for this blow off top. Now, the weekly Ichimoku cloud is even more interesting. Yesterday's or last episode, I was looking to see when's the last time we went up through a green cloud, and we pulled it all the way back and we found that there is no time we went through a green cloud. But I didn't really get into the detail then to say what did we do when we bounced up against this top of this green cloud? What did the blue line do compared to the red line? So now let's go to the present time and see what happened, because the blue came up and crossed and then they faded back as prices went down into quite a downtrend here back in the day. And now, even though we can see the blue line and the red line are coming to cross over each other, the momentum of that red line coming down is important. It's topped off and it is still coming down. That red line needs to even off. The blue line needs to come below it and then cross. So we need to have, this seems like this is by the Ichimoku, this is going to be pulling back to retest the 7,000 level. But let's see. Now I'm going to zoom in on the Ichimoku to the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is still looking bullish. It still gives us lots of time because this would allow us to come all the way down to the cloud and go back up. And this wouldn't be worried about it at all because it really is designed for getting into a position here. And so that kind of volatility isn't worrisome if you did get into a position earlier. Let's zoom in. 12-hour time frame. Okay, we did bounce off the cloud here and come up. Now it seems to be easing off at this point. Let's continue to zoom in if we get any more insight. The 4-hour is coming up almost across. So should this begin to flare wider as prices are going up and we stay away from the cloud, all good, we're going into that parabolic. If this is crossing and we're coming near the cloud, I'm giving up on the parabolic because we're going to be breaking this trend line and we'll be below our new little 1, 2, 3. So this tiny little 1, 2, 3 is my stepping stone now if I was a mountain climber, and let's see if it holds on. Let's zoom in now. The 1-hour time frame has already given us the slip. We've already gone below this trend line here. And now this trend line is resistance as we're coming up. So let's zoom in on this to see what's going on in the very closest time frame. Again, here it's way. So again, this is really close time frame, way in, just to verify what we're seeing on the larger time frame here, to watch what this 1, 2, 3 is doing. If we can be staging up above these areas and the RSI and the MACD are confirming, then we should see the 1-hour Ichimoku cross again and build its way back up through this cloud as we did here. Let's go into the Bollinger Bands and see what we get for insights here. The weekly has been interesting to me because we've gone from one side of this second standard deviation right to the other side. Bang, bang, right to the top there. Let's zoom in now. The other day we were at 12-hour and 4-hour mean reversions as we were skittling along the top here for the daily. So we go into the 12-hour time frame. This is where kind of a mean reversion. Anytime it goes in between the second and third standard deviation, I'm watching for what does it do? I want to know the difference between the uptrend and the mean reversion as it is happening. But let's observe what happens from here, because this isn't a real clean top formation. It's not breaking down hard, even though the Ichimoku is leaning more bearish now. Let's see if we're pulling up into that parabolic move up. And we'll finish with taking a commentary on the altcoins. We can see that Bitcoin dominance made its top formation here. As this 12-hour EMA crossed over from this top formation, most of the alts were starting to take off at that time. And we were able to track the progression of which altcoins were taking off first, and we could see that pouring over the edges as we went from alert status coins, and we get new alert status coins, and they moved into hold status coin. We could watch that progression of the bullishness move over time. So we can see in these 4 charts here that on Poloniex and Binance that we went from bearish, which was red being higher and green being lower, to being bullish, which is the green taking over and the red being flatlined now. So pretty much the entire crypto sphere has gone from bearish at January 1st and is now in almost full bull, and we can see through the progression of our hold status coins here. The most important thing to know is that you're not completely missing out on the altcoin market. There may be a little pullback here now in the next short while for a place that'll give us a 1, 2, 3 that we can start to reconsider a position in this if you've missed out on some of these markets. But certainly the first wave of altcoins are really taking off. And if you are an avid altcoin trader, then what would it mean for your account if you had these kind of trades over the last while put into your account? As these trades set up and we monitor them, we were grabbing these 100, now they're up 134%, 162%, 120% on ICX. We're already up 77% on BCD. And on the other cryptocurrency channel, I am going to feature some of these top cryptocurrency trades that we did. We'll go into BitShares chart and we'll talk about why we got into this before, and we'll see where it is now and what are our plans next. We'll go over DGD, we'll look at ENJ, we'll look at Ethereum Classic, which was an amazing trade that is still ongoing. We're up 95% on that one. We'll take a look at Lisk, and is there opportunity there now? Mana is just taking off. Is there opportunity on these coins right now? There are so many opportunities, but you've got to know what to look for, and that's what the next channel is going to talk about. What did we look for to get into these trades, and what are we watching in them now? So click on that link up in the corner on the side and grab some of those videos on altcoins. If you are new to this Bitcoin trading channel, be sure to click on thumbs up and subscribe. But more than that, go over to the website and grab the free crypto trading system. I teach you in 27 minutes the full 5 stages of the trade that I approach cryptocurrencies with. It's not a sales pitch, it's actually work. You're going to have to do some homework on that, get a piece of paper out, and get prepared to learn this system that we talk about every day here. I go over more information that I can share here on this live stream, and then on this video we augment it by going through all of the indicators that you can apply to those 5 stages of the trade and the trading plan pattern that you learn over in the free webinar. And so in closing, you can see that our indicators really did give us inside information about this tiny little 1, 2, 3 formation that we were able to identify before things broke out. Now, on tomorrow's episode, we'll get into detail to see what's going on from this blowout pattern, because every single time it goes up now, I am continually watching for any sign of a 1, 2, 3 formation. Anytime it's making a 1, 2, 3 top formation on any time frame now, I'm watching it, and I want to see this build out over a longer time frame and it turn into a larger nested 1, 2, 3. So we'll continue to watch this for whenever this blow off top finally does hit its top. We're going to document it. We're going to have it here on this channel for you to be able to follow. And in the meantime, of course, head over to the Discord chat and come and talk to us with us about what's going on with the altcoins now. Bitcoin dominance really took a big pull back as Bitcoin drove up because altcoins took a quick slip back and they've recovered a little bit, but this is making a potential formation that could be a reversal pattern in this little trend that we have in Bitcoin dominance right now. And that would mean to me that Bitcoin is going to surge much, much higher and that alts are going to pull back as people are panic dumping their alts in order to be in Bitcoin. My thinking is that they're going to be too late but the alts are going to be taking off anyway along with Bitcoin, and they'll probably have to buy back into their altcoins at a worse price. Let's see how this turns out. Super exciting days. I love to be tracking all of this stuff. Thanks again for being along with this episode. I'll see you guys over on Discord. Ciao for now.